Present. You see how they changed the word to present instead of share?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, on StreamYard, they made, for some reason they changed it to say present. What the hell they're trying to pull right now? welcome to Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, and I'm here with my boy
Steve. Real name, no gimmicks.
Yeah, there we go. How are you, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm living that dream. I am living that dream.
Live the dream.
It's going, yo, shout out to everybody out here up in the world who support us, like our stuff, share our stuff, and have subscribed and followed. Thank you so much to people like Rogue Radio, Matt Cat, Lanio, RM, and all the likes. Hannah Banana, all of you guys. We love you guys.
We appreciate you. We love you very much. Crazy week in the world, right?
Crazy week in the world. Oh, is there anything you want to quickly start off with? Because I have a feeling you've got something on your mind.
No, actually, it's amazing to me the stuff that's coming out. We don't even have Rings of Power listed as a topic, right? Not much to talk about.
We can definitely talk about it, but I am interested in how you feel about it because I didn't get your. I don't think you've mentioned how you feel about the latest episode.
All right, we'll get there, but obviously the radio waves have been ruled by one particular individual in the radio waves. The internet has been ruled by one individual yet again. One Kanye Yeezus.
Why'd he do it? Why'd you do it, Kanye? So, Kanye was actually getting. Here's what I'm saying. Of course, he's going to get his normal level of bad flack, negative energy because of his White Lives Matter move. However, I believe that it was weird. People were actually coming to his defense, and I was like, well, this is unheard of. And then suddenly, this idiot gets on Twitter and makes a comment. Can I even repeat it on our channel?
I don't think you can. I don't think I want you to.
Yeah, he makes a comment about a particular group of people. I don't know why, where it was coming. Do you know the backstory as to what was going through his mind at the time?
No. I mean, but we got to preface it with this. I'm sorry, my key light is so bright, and obviously nothing's working today. My remote setting on my phone disconnected inexplicably.
Well, it is a day ending in Y.
So. I guess we got to backtrack a little bit here. Kanye, obviously, and Candace Owens, they had the whole White Lives Matter shirts at the Paris event. And then he went on Tucker Carlson, which I have to say, if I'm being objective, was the clearest I've heard Kanye in quite some time. Did you watch the interview?
Oh, he did, yes.
It was actually...
It was... here's what I'm saying. This is why I think most of his shit is an act.
Right.
Because he can turn it on and off.
What the hell is that? Did you do that to me?
I didn't do that. Where? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
You obviously did that, right?
No, absolutely not. Did someone hack? Did someone hack your shit?
What the hell?
Oh wait, did you have someone up that had this avatar? Because this is weird.
It must have been what happened. Like you must have had the avatar of someone else. Okay. Matt says, "Oh, it's Mini Moon." Yeah, from Mini Moon, I guess is what the baby Sailor Moon.
You know what? I know who did this to me. Bex. Bex was probably. I let Bex, just to hold up TV StreamYard. I think Bex might have been messing around with some stuff.
Right. That's so Bex. Oh god.
But so you watch the Tucker Carlson thing. You think that most of the time Kanye's playing it up a little bit, huh?
I think he plays up mental health as kind of an act, and I really do think he can turn it on and off. And when he wants to be very together and sober and clear, he can. Right. Because he held it together. You're right. That entire interview.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the points that he was making in regards to the reason. So whenever someone's espousing their worldview, right, whether I agree with them or not, I listen to the foundation of their worldview. I'm like, is it legible? Have they thought it through? And I've often said, just last week on Dope Dynamics, I was like, I don't pay attention to Kanye because he doesn't have a really fully formed worldview. He's just saying stuff. But
yeah, he's not a philosopher. He says like crazy shit at the time, but I don't think he cares, and I think he's willing to flip flop.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
As long as it's cool. As long as it's cool,
But when he was on Tucker, I was like, man, this sounds like a guy who's really considered his position. And I was taken back. Now, I don't know how we got from there to whatever anti-Semitic comments he's being accused. We still have to say alleged, even though I'm not sure where he was going with that one. I'm not sure.
So I'll blank it out, but he said, I'm going to go DEFCON 5 or DEFCON 3 on the blank. It's all right that I said that because black people are blanks. What? What the? What the hell is that?
What is happening?
No, I mean, can you make any light of this? Does anyone know the origins and the background to what is going through this guy's mind?
None. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on with him, man. I keep trying to figure it out on a day-to-day basis, and Lord help me, man. Kanye just needs to have, like the guy from Duck Dynasty, the old guy. Sometimes you just shouldn't put a mic in front of certain people. You know,
I agree with that, but I think honestly, I think Kanye never grew out of this. But I think when he was a kid, he was one of those. You know the type of kid I'm talking about. The kid who can't help but do bad, and you'll be like, "Don't cause any trouble," and the kid will look over and look at something that he could push over.
Oh yeah,
he can't resist. He's gonna push it.
Yeah.
That's who he is, and I honestly think that must be Kanye.
No, 100%. I agree with that, but I feel like we jumped ahead, man. So what's going on before we get into the deep philosophical, political shit? What's going on in the world of nerddom? Anything jumping out at you? Did you watch Werewolf by Night?
I did. Did you?
Yes, I told you to watch it. I called you right after I watched it.
I loved it. I loved it.
I thought it was really good. I was really pleasantly surprised and taken back by what Phase 4 should have looked like. A lot of these shows could have been an hour, to hour and a half, one shots. We didn't need 8 episodes of She-Hulk.
To be honest, I wanted more of Werewolf by Night. I think that was its biggest crime. That I was like, why can't I get more of this one?
Because now they know. They want what they want, but we got to give them what's right.
I loved it. I hear that like the director had to fight with Kevin Feige to make it black and white. I love the black.
I thought that was great for the level of violence that was in there. I disagreed with a certain YouTuber in regards to young Bloodstone, her fighting style. I thought it was appropriate. I don't know what this YouTuber meant by it's too modern. And I was like, what are you saying?
So I know what that YouTuber is talking about, and I don't agree with them, but I think here's what it is. I think that they thought because it was black and white, it took place in the 40s, and that people, even if it took place in the 40s, that they don't know Brazilian, they don't know jiu-jitsu
they don't know, judo and stuff. Yeah, I get you.
But I'm saying there were white judoka in the 40s.
Yeah.
Did it actually take place in the 40s, or did it just feel like it took place?
No, it definitely did not take place in the 40s. It was, they were referring to eating sushi, right?
Right. They weren't eating sushi. And so I think that they thought that because it was black and white, that it must be back in the olden days.
Yeah. Alyssa Bloodstone. That's the name. Alyssa Bloodstone.
Yeah.
I was taken back, and not in a bad way, with the amount of blood when everything started cracking off. So the opening was great. I love the MCU logo turning into black and white with the claws going through it. Spoiler alerts for anyone that has not seen it yet. I really enjoyed the fact that they're all gathering around. I'm glad we didn't get a great deal of backstory for each hunter. It was just like these people showed up. They're here to claim the Bloodstone. She's coming back.
Trust me, if it was a 2-hour movie, they would have given all these motherfuckers a backstory.
Oh, yeah, everyone would have had a 20-minute flashback.
I do kind of wish they each had their own shtick. I wish they each had a superpower or a shtick or a weapon. You know what I mean? To make them original. But I do really appreciate the kills, like particularly like they're chopping people's hands off. They're like electrocuting people. They're doing all sorts of stuff. I love that.
No, that was great. That was absolutely great. I also some of the fatalities in here, man. And I loved Man-Thing. I've never liked Man-Thing.
I've always just thought he's this ugly freak that occasionally appears in comics. I don't even know what his powers are, but he's like burning them, like he's zapping them, but burning them. And I was like, what is that? It's some sort of chemical attack.
No. So in the comics, essentially, the Teddy, he's a doctor who came the closest to recreating the super soldier serum that made Captain America, and when he found that,
turned into that thing. Jesus.
No, so AIM either acquires the company or he finds out that he's working for Advanced. What is AIM an acronym for?
Advanced Idea Mechanics.
advanced idea mechanics. He finds out that he's working for them and that they're going to take his serum and use it for, less than desirable things. So his grand plan was he injected himself with it and then drove off a cliff into a swamp, or drove into some water, which also happened to be magically enchanted, thus Man-Thing. Now, here's the thing about Man-Thing that most people don't understand.
Because comics, right?
Because comics. Man-Thing is actually not a copy of Swamp Thing. He actually was in publication before Swamp Thing. It was just that Swamp Thing, the idea existed, but Marvel beat them to publication on that. Right. His powers are he burns you if you have fear inside of you. And also he has a very distinct role in Marvel proper. He's the gatekeeper to the portals that lead to the multiverse. So long before America Chavez, Man-Thing is standing there guarding the gateway.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what is Werewolf by Night left me with such appreciation for the three characters. I can't wait to see them again. I really do hope that the Blade movie is at least the intro to a Midnight Suns movie or theme.
Yes.
And I hope that the three of them are on that team.
Yeah.
Because I would love to learn more about Man-Thing and all this stuff.
When I saw the first arm get cut off, I was like, I was already enjoying it. But when she cut Homeboy's arm off, I was like, this is amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. I loved it. I thought she was great. I liked her martial arts. I don't know what that YouTuber was talking about. Now she's got the Bloodstone, which will make her more of a more powerful menace. Yeah. And here's what I'm saying. It's actually, who did the least? At least he slaughtered a bunch of people. But Werewolf by Night, I would like to see a lot more of Werewolf by Night. I want to see what his Wolfman powers can do.
Yeah, he definitely, as they say in the hood, fucked off the fake time. What do you call the cops from Loki? The
TVA.
The TVA.
The ghetto TVA guys.
Yeah. They were definitely the red ensigns that got sent down on with the away team. I was like, all these guys are gonna die. Like anyone that confronts him, they're gonna die a brutal death.
So here's my thoughts. Matt says, I'm very curious as to where Werewolf and Man-Thing go from here in the MCU. Like, are there enough to do Midnight Suns? So check this out. If we get Blade, Man-Thing, Werewolf by Night, Elsa Bloodstone, Moon Knight, and Black Knight, I think that would be a great team right there.
Yeah, it's a great team. It's a great team. They big kind of a miss there that they didn't have Moon Knight cameo in this in some way, shape, or form, because I don't know if you know this. Werewolf by Night made his, or vice versa. One of them made their premiere in the other's publication.
Yeah, and they have a Hulk Wolverine thing.
Yes,
going on where they constantly beef. They're constantly beating each other up.
Yes.
Which is funny. They're both characters ruled by the moon, right?
Yeah.
But so what I had heard actually was originally back in the day they wanted Blade to make a cameo, but they didn't have all their Blade shit together in time, which was the first strike against that director that would eventually lead him to dismiss. You know what I mean? He was supposed to have the art design, everything ready, and like at least so they could have a cameo of the man.
What a fumble, man! What a fumble!
I mean, wouldn't that be great if it was there?
Was it 4 to 3 years ago they announced Blade? Which Comic-Con was that?
Crazy how long ago. There's stuff that they were like, we announced Blade, we even have an actor, and then they're like, and we might do these other things down the road. And they ended up doing those things.
Yeah.
Rather than something they already had it. And how hard, here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's easy to write a script, but it's not that hard to nail down what people want to see in a Blade movie.
No, I think Blade is a pretty straightforward character. We want great fight scenes, we want beautiful cinematography, and we want a story that makes both of those things mixed together. And that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for next generation experience with Blade. But I'll take what I got in Werewolf by Night. We got a little exploration into what the WB tried to do with their Universal with their MonsterVerse. So let's see if Marvel can keep the MCU can keep this going. Like I would really like to see what happens with Bloodstone next. And real quick, my brother, it was like watching the better version of Buffy when I was watching that. I just want to say that. The vampire slayer that makes sense.
Right. It's like it's a cheesy Slayer tale that like at least it went there.
Yeah.
It really went there. No, I freaking loved it. I thought it was a great Halloween treat. I'm actually impressed. I couldn't believe Marvel could do it.
I watched it 3 times.
He says, I think they announced Blade in 2019. It feels much later, like longer than that. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I mean, Black Adam is coming out before Blade, for God's sake.
And that was a figurative movie too. People weren't sure they were ever going to make that. We were like, yeah, right. Black Adam. Black Adam 21st, brother.
21st. Gotta get our tickets, gotta get the plan together. Okay, so what are you rating Werewolf by Night?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow, 9 out of 10. All right, I was gonna say an 8, but my 8 isn't because I disliked anything. It was just, it was a little short, but I understand why it was short.
Yeah, but my main complaint is it was too short, and then the other one is I really didn't. And this is so minor that it basically doesn't take off points. But I really didn't like that it turned color at the end. It was stupid.
Yeah, no, that didn't make sense. Also, I think another reason I gave it an 8 was because they spit in our face in the beginning of it. Not intentionally or unintentionally, it's still spit in the face. They had gore proper on the wall, and I was livid. I was livid. Bex, are you responsible for this? Hold on, I'm sorry. We got to stop the show for Bex. Bex, did you somehow manage to do this to me? If not, then that means my shit's been hacked and I got to change passwords.
Yeah, how did Mini Moon get in there? What up, Princess Bex?
Bex, did you do this? Did you do this tinkering around in StreamYard? Yeah, but I was upset that we had gore proper.
Why? Wait, that upset you?
Yeah.
That made me happy seeing. Yeah, true gore was on the wall. He was on the hieroglyphics, right?
Yeah, but why give him to me now? Why after Love and Thunder?
Well, obviously they were probably in production at different. They didn't know what the other guy was doing,
right?
And he probably thought gore was going to look like a normal gore, like gore should look. So this director put it in there.
Who's a MCU stan now? Some idiot was sitting there and they just said, maybe they'll be happy if we do this. No, I'm not happy about it. And I wasn't really too bent out of shape that we didn't get gore proper with, the tentacles and stuff. It was just, I was trying to forget about Love and Thunder. I'm really trying to forget about Love and Thunder in every way, shape, or form. But in regards to Phase 4, I would say that this is a step in the right direction. Yes, Bex is responsible, everyone. She
says it had to be done.
Absolutely not.
It's hysterical.
So step in the right direction. MCU Phase 4, we're coming to the tail end here. This helps wash some of it out of my mouth. Pause.
I think they only have one thing left, right? The finale.
Yeah, the finale.
The finale. Black Panther. I am so nervous about this movie.
I mean, if some of the speculation coming out, I'm nervous, but not nervous in a way where I'm not going to see it. But I already talked about this. There's stuff, spoiler, potentially, there could very well be, like I said, I believe last episode, if they do the multiple Black Panther thing and then boom, it starts coming out and, the scoopers are saying that there are going to be multiple Black Panthers because of a toy that came out. They released the figures. Did you see that?
I didn't see that, but I had heard that rumor before. And here's how I think it's probably going to play out. I think one or more people are going to mistakenly try to be the Black Panther before Siri takes it and they get their asses handed. I don't love that. But I think that's what I interpreted to me.
I think that's one way to look at it. I really do think, given the name Wakanda Forever, the mantle is going to be split.
Yo, that would be so stupid. Yo, they better not. Oh God, I just thought of something horrible. They better not pull a Thor where they're like, all the children of Wakanda are now Black Panther.
It's about.
I would lose my effing mind.
All I really need from Black Panther is for it not to be comedic, for there to be a great fight scene with whomever in Namor, right? For Namor to be menacing, as I suspect him to be. And, I don't even really care if Doom is in the post trailers, because I was thinking about something. I mean, it would be great if he was, but I was thinking about something. Doom deserves so much respect that if they're just going to introduce him in Black Panther and then just roll him in quickly in like Secret Wars or something like that, I don't know if I'm going to be down with that. But I'm going to check all my expectations and my bias at the door when we go see the movie.
It's gotta be Doom, because here's what I'm saying: someone has to be responsible for killing Black Panther, and they're not going to make it Namor.
I actually have a theory about the death of Black Panther, right? And
Oh,
this is wild, unsubstantiated. I think he's going to contract a disease. I think we can all, I think a lot of people agree on that. But I think that they're gonna, if they do decide to recast him, they're gonna do it in such a way in this movie where he's gonna go off to the ancestor lands and come back, and then they'll just be like, he's the Panther again, because it kind of follows the pre-Hickman storyline where he lost the mantle of Black Panther in Doom Wars, and Shuri becomes Black Panther because the whole of Wakanda lost faith in him for rendering vibranium inert and stop back to Doom. But I think they're going to leave themselves a little wiggle room where they can squeeze in another actor into Black Panther.
Well, one, here's what I'm saying. Personally, I will have an issue if he dies from disease. This man is a warrior. He deserves a warrior's death. Please tell me you're following me on this. I mean, you, of all people, know about how you have to have a warrior's death.
Oh, I got mine planned out. I'm just going to walk into a Taekwondo studio full of 7-year-olds, and I'm like, this shit is fake.
Can fight each one of them. Eventually, you're going to have 100 battles that day until you're finally defeated. Honestly, if he dies from disease, oh God, you know what?
I mean, that's just my theory, but
they're like he contracted Africanized herpes. I mean, what are they going to do? Because I think it'd be really weird if they have him die of cancer the way the actor died. I mean, that's a bit.
I mean, it's either going to be that, or I don't know who's the death going to be at the hand of Namor, because then you can't redeem Namor in any way, shape, or form.
Which is why I think it's either Doctor Doom or somebody. There's going to be a hidden villain. Basically, I think whatever his death is, they're going to blame Namor.
Yeah.
And then that's what all the fighting's going to be. But at the end, they're going to the real villain will reveal himself, and they're like, it's really him.
I hope. Let's see, man. But just to cap off Werewolf by Night, it definitely, it got 2 thumbs up. It got an 8. It lost a point for gore, but otherwise than that, I really enjoyed it. Any situation where I get to see a sword buried in someone's head and then twisted in an MCU, proving also that they are testing the waters to see how people react to more brutal fatalities, because that's all Black and White is.
I wish they had an NC-17 cut of Werewolf by Night, which the only thing they add is just more gore.
Yeah.
Like people carrying severed heads and shit.
Yeah.
Matt says, I think it's just like that, Mantis. They are flooding Wakanda. It's going to be gone. Oh, if he just drowns, I will also lose my mind.
I think the flood comes after his death. I think the flood really does come after his death. I think the movie opens up with whatever happens to him. But here's the thing, right? So my rule is the more that I can do this and then still go enjoy the movie will also dictate how much I enjoy the movie. Because my theory, my view is fan crafting, speculation, writing your own script in your head. There's no quicker way to ruin a movie for yourself, because nothing's going to live up to the headcanon that you create.
This is why originally I said I was nervous about this thing. Because I think I've been watching the trailer multiple times. I've been writing the script in my head.
Yeah.
And so what am I going to get?
Yeah.
And if I get he drowns off camera, I'm going to lose my freaking mind.
Right.
That is no way for a hero to die.
No, it's no way for a hero to die.
He has to die in the act of heroism, in my opinion.
No, it's pronounced heroism, by the way.
Sorry, I got my tar, man.
Whatever it is, man. I'm sure we'll work it out, man. I just want to jump ship here, go left, as it were, for a second. So we do have to talk about Black Adam, right? Black Adam's coming out.
Black Adam, excited.
So we may or may not have Henry Cavill in a post-credit or in a snippet or something like that. You think there's any truth to the scoopers saying that Black Adam is going to be the new center point of the DCEU? That it's really gonna be jumping off from there. Is that more of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and I'm running for president type shit?
Well, okay, so certain people actually even went as far as to say they think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to become their Kevin Feige, and I don't think in any universe that's ever going to happen. But whether they feature him a lot, like the idea that they're saying it's either going to be there's going to be a him versus the Justice League movie, I think that's possible. I would pay to see that. I mean, wouldn't you pay to see that?
I would. The only way I would pay to see that would be in the movie, because I know that Black Adam is not a character that can take on two of the Justice League, let alone the entire.
So, did you see The Rock's video on Twitter that he put up?
No,
where he's working out.
No,
he's working out and he's talking about the movie, and he says, "And Black Adam is the most powerful." Wait. He's like, as of Act 3 of the movie, is the most powerful character in the DCEU. And I said, so I think at the end of the movie, he's going to find some sort of hidden power or something.
He's going to power up.
He's going to power up or
He's
something.
going to level up. I'm just hoping. I need this. I don't need it. I'm wanting this to be a hit for The Rock, man. I don't want him to be remembered for the friggin' Hercules, Fast and Furious, which will have to sit through another one of these bullshit ass.
The Scorpion King.
Matthew's script is probably better than what Coogler wrote. Coogler, I don't. What's your beef with Coogler now? Like,
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Matt has faith in me.
No, you shouldn't, Matt. He's a false deity, and he'll let you down every time.
Lady says, I saw the trailer for the first time today. Oh, God. I got to say, it just looks like it's super heroic antics, right? We're going to have all these superhumans trying to fight Black Adam. It's going to be a good that alone will be a good time. Yeah. I really hope that he actually trades blows with Man of Steel, even if it's just for a few, like a smidge.
Mm.
But if this leads to a future Justice League versus Black Adam, I am for it.
Yeah, I got to see it to believe it, right? I got to see what all. I'm still looking at Black Adam from the comic, and I'm just like, it's DC's Magneto. Like, even though he existed before Magneto, but that's simply who Black Adam is. Hey, shout out to the guys over at Death Battle for getting it right the second time. Black Adam versus Apocalypse. He lost. Black Adam lost to Apocalypse. They broke down the science, and I was like, oh, I guess that does make sense that Apocalypse will beat him readily. And I thought that was great.
I mean, Apocalypse is pretty powerful.
You know what crazy, man? I keep saying this. Hey, you know that Apocalypse and Thanos have never been in anything together? They've been in comics where they're in the same universe, on the same battlefield, but no interaction.
I can believe it. Yo, Beck says, did you see the clip where they crowd surfed a baby to The Rock?
No.
Here's what it is. The Rock is going to move tickets because people just love him as a person.
Oh, that hasn't worked in the past.
It hasn't. There are times that it didn't work, but it usually works.
No. Let's see. It didn't work with the Scorpion King.
Worked. That was before he was, a household name. Now it
worked with Skyscraper or San Andreas Fault Line or whatever that bullshit was. It didn't work.
For some reason, it worked for what's the one where he fights the giant monkey?
Oh, Rampage.
It worked for Rampage for some reason. It worked for Fast and Furious. The most random Rock movies do great.
Speaking of rent, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know what it didn't work for, which drives me nuts? It only did okay at the box office. Hobbs and Shaw, which I actually like that movie.
That was better than the last 19 Fast and Furious movies.
Absolutely, best Fast and Furious movie ever made. And somehow it just did mediocre at the box office.
Well, not mediocre. It made its money back. It turned a profit.
Yeah, it didn't do. Yeah. What I'm saying is, it didn't like. I don't understand how does like Fast and Furious 8 make $1 billion, but Hobbs and Shaw doesn't. That makes no sense.
Good timing. Random, but I just want to drop this now. Do you know what won the streaming wars, my friend? I thought it was Rings of Power, but it's another show that the Nielsen reports has dominated House of Dragon and Rings of Power. Can you guess what show it is, streaming wise?
Was it Dahmer?
No.
What?
Fucking She-Hulk. Yes.
I haven't heard any of that.
No, go watch. Grace reported it. Quartering reported it. Yeah.
No, I remember last movie map I saw.
No. Yeah, it's the last one. I'll let it settle in for a second.
No, I don't know if that's right.
No, I'll let it settle in. I'll let it settle in for a second. Rings of Power definitely beat House of Dragon handedly.
Yeah.
And minutes viewed. But yeah, I was watching.
She did not beat either of them.
Yes, she did.
No.
I listen. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at Grace for reporting it, and then the quartering for reporting. I watched it, and even the quartering. I forget. Does he have a real name?
Jeremy.
Okay. Even
a simple Wisconsin man who's a bean farmer. We may have to put on movie math because we're debating this. Because
I'm not debating it. I do want you to go, however, watch it after the show, and then remember, I'm not the one you're arguing with, right? But there's trickery afoot here. But I just wanted you to, people
What's
could
the trickery? Explain the trickery.
There has to be trickery afoot, right? You're not accepting, nor did I accept right off. But once, also, but let's forget She-Hulk for a second. Rings of Power. People are watching it now. People are watching it, and this once again, this makes me delve deeply into it. Is it just the bubble we exist in on YouTube, where the algorithm is suggesting guys with beards in basements screaming at the top of their lungs how much they
I didn't believe them because they tell lies, and these are the same group of guys who said that Marvel or Disney was buying up the tickets in the theater for Captain Marvel.
Right.
They are. Here's what I'm saying. I actually do watch the quartering. I do watch Ryan Kinnell, and I do watch Geeks and Gamers, but they do false reporting all the time for clickbait. And you're right. They are screaming at the top of their lungs. They're like, "This is the worst piece of trash ever!" Rioting in the streets because Rings of Power is garbage. They're like, Jesus is about to have an aneurysm. And I find their reports to be lies.
Right.
And the quartering admitted, at least, there was an episode that he said, I may have been wrong about the Rings of Power ratings.
Oh, no, he did more than admit it.
Oh, God.
He had to dial it back.
He does not. At least he admits when he's fucked up. But I'm saying some of these guys will never do it.
Oh, no, absolutely.
But here's what I'm saying. Think about it this way. Almost everyone has Amazon Prime. Right? Because it's not just a streaming service, you get free shipping. So you might just accidentally have it. People are going to at least check it out. There's no way it's going to do bad. You know what I'm saying? And people are going to watch.
Like some billions of minutes or something, if I remember correctly.
That's all it takes. It takes a normie. A normie will watch at least 30 minutes of any episode.
But here's the thing. I've said this to you before in regards to the MCU and the things that we consume. Diehards like ourselves, or some people might say tryhards, we're going to have a stronger reaction because of canon, blah, 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 blah. But remember, the MCU is not just making the movie for you. They're making it for the family that's 5 deep going to AMC at $17.50 a pop that will go see it multiple times, right? Who'll make a Saturday and a Sunday out of it. Though you understand what I'm saying? It's a business, and that's what's been keeping these things afloat. So it doesn't surprise me that the Rings of Power has great numbers because it's something that a family can put on that isn't a bunch of blonde hair, incestuous psychopaths riding dragons.
Right. I'm saying you can't. People it's hard to watch. For instance, I'll tell you. Like my pastor's husband secretly watches House of the Dragon. His wife won't let him because she saw him watching Game of Thrones. And was like, what the hell is this? And so, he'll see, it'll be coffee hour. He'll come up to me. He's like, yo, did you see it, man? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, quiet. Because he doesn't want his wife to know that he's talking about it. He waits for them to go to sleep and he watches it at night.
Hey, you don't play it. Don't play it. This is going to be for our private time. But can you just look over at your Discord for a second?
But so
while Mantis is doing that, I just want to make sure I say hello and thank you all for helping to make the Rings of Power.
I mean, I will eventually play that, but we'll see. That's just, I don't have anything against Coogler. I just think this movie got super effed when Boseman died. And I don't think he was able to write something good. I feel you. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to come back from that. My expectations for Black Panther are extremely high, but again, I'm just going to walk in and I'm going to see what they're giving me. I love this scene in the trailer when Baco is sitting down talking to the kids about who Namor is. I think they're heading in the right direction with Namor, and because that's one thing that Marvel Comics had to build him to be. It took a long time for us to me to respect Namor as a threat, right? Even remember when they changed his look for a little while? He was like grizzly Namor with the crazy hair and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know.
Are you actually in the '90s? I used to collect his comic, and it was called Namor, Marvel's First and Mightiest Mutant.
Yeah.
Was the subtitle. But I remember, and it was Jay Lee, and you're right that he made sure to do really grizzled, gritty. That he had a lot of scenes of Namor picking people up and then pounding the shit out of them, and just being a fucking thug, a thug of the seas.
Yeah, but what he wound up becoming was, during A versus X, that really launched it off as Namor is this really imposing. And even when he lost the Phoenix power and just his prowess as a king, it's so counter to T'Challa's. Even though, don't get it messed up, folks, the T'Challa in the movie is not the T'Challa from the comics. He is Team Wakanda over everything else.
Right.
The rest of the world could burn.
Yeah, so I'm going to say this. Unpopular opinion. And let me first, before I say anything, I apologize to you for insulting Hickman and his writing. I remember I was heated and I said some shit. And here's what it is. I think everyone has a different interpretation of what a good X-Men comic is. Okay. And I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I actually like Submariner on the X-Men. When he joined,
I loved him on there.
I was into that. I was really into that whole thing.
One of my favorite parts of Hickman's run on the X-Men is when Professor X makes this address to the world about Krakoa. I hope I have the islands right, Krakoa or wherever.
Yeah,
and he's doing his telepath thing, and he actually goes to Namor, and Namor addresses him readily. He's like, "Well, I'm glad you finally understood that your status is above these people, but I've sat on the throne for a long time now. Don't come back here until you're ready to make me a serious offer." Because he's trying to get Namor to come back, and that's what we need. It's good. Namor is such a good dialogue character. Like during the time runs out in Hickman's Avengers, the new Avengers, when the Illuminati's running around and they're trying to figure out, man, when they took on the Squadron Supreme or their version of the Justice League,
right.
Before that happened, there's this great scene where they go to their planet, and their version of Batman is quizzing the superheroes from 616. And they're like, "How did you guys do it? How we do it?" But that guy and Namor knew what had to happen next. When no one had an explanation to stop the incursion, Namor was like, "Screw this," and just started the fight. He's like, "If I'm going to become this guy that blows up planets to save my world, I'll do it on my own time."
Right.
What we need him to be in Black Panther. It's going to be great. I think he's going to be great. I think Angela Bassett is going to be, amazing. I think I take for granted what an amazing actress she is. It'll be a good time.
I've become more of a bigger dick about Namor. It's starting to bother me that he doesn't have more muscle.
Well, so now who's body shamer now?
I will body shame him. Superheroes are supposed to be Diesel.
They're good looking. They're beast of burden for my eye pleasure.
You know what's really funny is me and my sister were talking about and this does not pertain to comics. This pertains to the visual movies, the live action movies. The DCEU superheroes are conservatives, and the MCU are liberals.
I don't know how I feel about that. I gotta let that.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Me and my sister were trying to compare She-Hulk to Wonder Woman, and I was like, I'm frustrated with She-Hulk. She's always just a pathetic loser who lets men push her around. And my sister makes a joke, and she goes, "Yeah, but Wonder Woman assaults men when they're unconscious." And I said, because she's a conservative and she takes what she wants.
But is Wonder Woman comparatively to She-Hulk, are they not juxtaposed to each other? I think you do a better comparison with Storm to Wonder Woman.
Well, we haven't seen. Here's what I'm saying: we haven't seen MCU Storm, but I'm just doing MCU and DCEU.
Oh, okay.
DCEU. What I'm saying is, I feel like there's a softness, a tenderness to the MCU heroes, but the DCEU heroes, they're dark and gritty, so they'll do whatever. Wonder Woman takes what she wants.
They'll do whatever, but have a movie that successfully works to keep them all together.
You know why? It's because the liberals have taken over mainstream media.
That's not why. That's not. That's not
Matt
why.
says the last movie. Matt says Cobra Kai was the winner of the week.
I'm gonna send you something else in your Discord.
Yeah. And then Matt says I can't watch Geeks and Gamers, and RK Outpost. They're just angry individuals. Yeah, they get. I don't know how they do it. How they stay in angry mode, but they got that voice. Like, Ryan Kendall's always like, whoa, and I'm just like, yo, you're just talking about She-Hulk. Calm down, bro. It's not that serious.
And the liberal.
Yeah. This stuff is garbage.
Okay.
I think people watch Rings of Power because they want to see car crash in progress.
Okay. So let's get into it. What did you think of this last episode? I saw your review, so I know what you think, but
I really didn't care for the last episode.
Too much story for you?
Was there a story?
Well, obviously there was a story, but you didn't enjoy the story.
Well, yeah, basically what it is it's like I feel like Meteor Man's storyline didn't go any further. They just kind of the same old stuff. He's like using his power and like, we're scared of you, and then he goes away and like, but he's really nice. He's like Frankenstein or some shit. And then meanwhile, like you saw my review, and one of my major issues is Isildur's father. And
you're just some jock trying to talk about Lord of the Rings, aren't you? You're just some friggin' football playing.
That's what they accuse me of.
Understanding.
Yo, Isildur's father didn't think that his son might get hurt or killed in this. They went to war. He's just like, man up, man. You dragged your son to war, and now he's dead, or he believes he's dead.
Right.
And then suddenly he's like, I hate the elf. I hate all of this. Blah! And I'm like, you're not, man up.
He's like a fair weather Christian that goes to church on Easter and something bad happens. It's like,
they lose their job and they don't God anymore. Pathetic. I
don't know, man. All right, so I knew that we were headed for a lull after the action we got from the previous episode. There were some things I enjoyed on an emotional level. I really did enjoy. For some reason, it resonated with me that the queen had gone blind. Right, that scene right there was it's strange to me. It stuck out because I was like, oh, that's weird. That branch went right by her face and she didn't react to it. And I think I just like the acting and the dialogue in that scene, when she was like, when are we going to be there? He's like, it's just upon the ridge. How soon until we're clear of smoke? And he looks at Dwayne The Rock Johnson's nephew and he's like, you realize their queen is going blind? I think these are moments that humans need to face.
Wait, is that kid really his nephew?
No.
In slow motion, I was like, wait a minute, he does look like him, doesn't he? Oh. sorry, I'm an idiot right now.
No, but I thought that was great there.
There's no wait. For instance, I agree with you. And Elrond and Durin did great character moments.
Oh, the dialogue with his dad, man. It's just like,
yeah.
Isn't that just your dad walking out to get cigarettes and telling you that it's for your own good, that he won't be back for 5 years?
As you know, I didn't have a father growing up, so I don't know what these types of things are supposed to be like. But it did kind of hit me in the feels. I feel like their friendship thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Was more hit me in the feels when he's like, when he couldn't help his friend and he had to let his friend go, and you could see how hard he wanted to help his friend. Yeah, I was like, damn, man. I just think it is taking a long time, though.
It is taking a long time. I think, though, that we're getting I know I'm doing lawyer shit for this episode, but I think in that moment when Elrond is talking to Durin, and it's just the acting and the timing of it, like, there's more than just what's going on with them as friends. It's realizing that your race could very well be coming to an end, even though it's only the end in Middle Earth. It's like, all right, pack up shop, go back home. Like, that's all you got to do.
Go back to Valinor or whatever.
Yeah, just head out. But that moment was great. I love the dialogue between Durin and his wife in regards to the behavior of King. And
I know she's a problematic character to people, but I like his wife. Durin's wife is adorable. When she's on screen, she's wonderful.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's like, yeah, that's what you're looking for. A woman that'll help you destroy your whole kingdom, but she loves you.
True love. She's there.
True love. Meteor Man and Fem's Shady as basement dweller is being called.
Fem shady. I don't know what's going on with that plot. They're clearly thugs. I don't know, but I'm bored with that plot right at this point.
I thought it was pretty amazing when she burned the Hardfoots.
With no warning, she's like, "Are you talking to me, maggot?" And then she just burns their fucking shit. And you're like, a little extreme reaction, yo. Yo, Matt says I would never let my kids watch The Rings of Power. That's what they used to torture prisoners at Guantanamo. RM says Nelson's most recent streaming ratings for the week of September 5th through 11th says Cobra Kai #1, Love and Thunder #2.
All right, let me get that. Let me get this up. I'm just telling you what your favorite reporters. I've already sent him one source that we're gonna have to deal with after.
I'm saying I watched the latest Movie Math, and she separates them between each channel or whatever and things.
And remember, I'm not.
She even said She-Hulk didn't make the top 10.
Listen, I'm not debating you. I'm just reporting what other people report. So if I provide it, then you have to deal with her, right? So you'll go after Geeks and Gamers. I mean, the Quartering and her, right?
The Quartering, I expect to lie to me. That's part of the entertainment value of him. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I know this is clickbait, but I just want to say it's like watching Doomcock. Except Doomcock's a little fun.
It's like, oh yeah, speak on that for a second. Wait, we can get back to Lord of the Rings. What's up with She-Hulk making one of your brethren the villain of the show?
So for those who know Doomcock, he calls his his channel. He's a YouTuber who wears a plastic helmet, and he does a Doctor Doom impersonation. His character is called his channel is called Overlord DVD. DVD stands for Dictor Von Doomcock. He pretends that he's the future ruler of the earth, coming back in time to tell us things about the entertainment world. And so anyway, the She-Hulk villains in it, Intelligentsia, they modeled to the masks to look like his. They modified it. It's not an exact match. It's so basically not only are she fighting internet trolls, they are targeting certain trolls, and you know what I'm saying. He is definitely a horrible internet troll, and he admits it. But like the fact that these people at She-Hulk would just admit that they're targeting some, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's pathetic. I think it's pathetic.
Let me think on this for a second, right?
Lainey says she teared up on the Deeren and L1 storyline.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, listen, I'll get back to the guy with the cock face. There are certain things that you can allow a narrative to shape your view on it, right? And I can definitely see how someone could say this last episode was boring. But I would also challenge anyone to go back and watch the individual interactions and the scenes that are taking place in this last episode of Rings of Power and tell me if you can't say that's grade A acting. Like the guy who plays the Steeldoor's dad missed when they were leaving. I didn't really believe like he was really hurting over a Steeldoor and wanting to leave. That was a cheesy, poor time scene. We're watching Doran and Elrond talking to King Durin, and then him giving the hard no to his son about saving his friend. That's beautiful stuff. Even watching the Hardfoots, after what they went through, it's good stuff.
I actually like don't get me wrong. I like the acting in the Harfoot part of the story. I just want more things to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not against anyone acting. Although I will say, Isildur's dad is annoying the shit out of me. And so here's what I'm saying: if you've ever seen, you're a Star Trek fan, like you like Deep Space Nine and this shit, right? Worf. Yeah. I expect him to be like Worf, and so Worf is probably the best person to be an example of what a warrior goes through when his loved one dies. There are times where he's like, it's a shame that my coworker died, someone I love, but this is how it is. And I will honor them, but I'll be a man about it. And Isildur is acting like a little bit. Isildur's dad, I forget his name, is acting like a little bitch.
Yeah, it's a question, a crisis of faith type writing, right? I think we identified it earlier. So the crux in his character's development right now is he's supposed to be one of the faithful, right? And how deep is his faith if it's turned so easily?
Right. He was one of the main ones who was like, we need to do this.
Yeah, the potential death of your son, that would traumatize anyone. I think that when they're going back, he's going to rally back. Obviously, we'll find out Isildur, but this is what they're setting up because some of the stuff in Tolkien's writing, I don't think people really appreciate, and this kind of gives it a little context. What Isildur does at Mount Doom when he doesn't drop that ring in is a big deal. So now we're getting all the expository stuff that leads up to it, and I think we get our first hint of how treacherous of a punk he could be when he allowed a guy to burn a boat and claim honor from it.
Oh my God! You know what I realized?
I'm a genius.
I bet you they're not smart enough to make this connection, but you just made me make this connection. He takes after his father. His father reneges on honor, and he will later on renege on honor.
Now I don't know if we don't know if he's reneged yet. He's still a faithful servant to Numenor, right?
Yes. He hasn't thrown it all to the wind, but
yeah.
I don't know, but but I'm just saying it's interesting. I maybe I'm forcing these connections, but I'm like,
no, you're just some hapless wit that plays football, trying to talk about deeper things with his Tolkien.
Because I can't pronounce Elven. I'm a thug, right?
Nerds. All right, so
Matt, real quick says the big reveal of season will be who is Sauron, and I say who cares. And so here's where I'm going to agree with Matt on this.
Okay.
Here's the problem with both the Meteor Man and the Sauron thing, right? When you start a mystery, you don't continue the mystery by ignoring the mystery. In the first 2 episodes, Galadriel's mystery was who or where is Sauron. They allowed her to get sidetracked, and she never brings it up and never discusses it, and it's not a concern. And they don't further it. And a good mystery will have twists and turns. There should be periods where she thinks she might know where he is and it be wrong. She thinks she knows who's doing it and it's wrong and shit like that. But they have just ignored it. And so the same thing with Meteor Man. They're not giving us any hints at all as to who he could be.
So can I bothering us? So in regards to the Galadriel part, let me counter it. Her mystery it's not a mystery for who's Sauron. It's where.
Yes, where is he? Where is he? She kind of forgets it though halfway through.
And I think that's the part that's interesting because in her mind, if we're looking at it from the character development, she hasn't forgotten. She got waylaid. She got betrayed by Elrond. Don't forget that in the High King. They tried to send her off to Florida for elves.
No, they said, "Job well done. Go home, bitch. You too angry." You're too angry to have around pals. We're high elves. We're living in the. We're trying to chill, yo. And you're talking about revenge and killing people and shit. Calm down.
We know he might be out there somewhere, but you're too intense. You're
too into this, yo. We're trying to chill. They're trying to chill, and she's intense.
So that's why she went on that side journey. It wasn't like she was like, I'm on my way to Numenor after I get adrift by a raft. They sent her off, and she's been making her way back to the story. You know,
she should bring it up more and think about it more, ponder it more, investigate more. Clues should be dropping along the way.
But I feel like if they were dropping too many clues based off of what I know about you, you would say that's lazy writing based on what's been written. Right, so she gets dropped off somewhere. She jumps off a boat. She gets picked up by a bunch of bums on a raft. She makes her way to the kingdom that's ultimately going to betray the god of this universe.
So here's what it is. When a character gets sidetracked like that, people should talk to her on Numenor and be like, blah 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 blah. And she said, "It doesn't matter. I'm hunting Sauron. I need to get back to hunting Sauron." That should be what she's talking about. Not hanging out in freaking libraries and fucking making Halbrand.
Wait, bro, that's what she's been talking about.
Yes, why do you talk about shit?
It's interchangeable in Tolkien talk. They say the enemy. They say the enemy. She said it multiple times.
She's just dicking around. You know what it is? I think elves just take too long to do shit, and I want her to do shit.
Yeah, of course. 20 years is a blank for them if they got small people.
I'll get to Sauron. F that, man. You need to find. Wait, I'm a human watching, so I need it to go at a human pace.
Absolutely fantastic, and this is why you hate She-Hulk, right? It's just It's too advanced for you, I think. I think it's too enlightened. It's showing you a world that could exist if you would just denounce your toxic masculinity and accept the fact that you only like She-Hulk when she was in skimpy clothing as a kid, when you're, in comics. You can't handle this new advanced, well thought out, well put together She-Hulk.
Well, no, she's not. She's a simp, yo. The new She-Hulk is a simp. The old She-Hulk would be like DCEU Wonder Woman. She would be taking men, not letting them push her around.
See, me being a feminist, I'm into masculine She-Hulk, the big muscle one. That's She-Hulk right there. Are you enlightened enough? Are you woke enough to accept the masked, uber muscular She-Hulk?
I can't deal with that, man. That is gross. But what I'm saying, in her personality-wise, she should be an alpha.
So did you enjoy the episode with Daredevil?
I enjoyed the Daredevil parts. I very much like the Daredevil parts.
Right.
What did you think?
I stopped watching the show. I watch your reviews and that's it.
Matt says Princess Disa is not a problematic character. I don't know anyone who doesn't at least think she's decent. I think that people attack her a lot.
Yeah.
And we know why.
Because she's short.
Exactly. Doomcock got so much attention because of that episode.
So much. Who do I need?
Who do I need to jerk off so I can be impersonated on MCU? Well, you have to increase your trolling, Matt. You need to be a class
go
A
full black belt trolling.
Yeah, you need to troll the shit out of you need to have Kathleen Kennedy go home and be like, that fucking Matt Cat, I'm gonna kill him.
You know what the crazy thing is? I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of Matt twiddling his thumbs like, I'll get them. Quartering She-Hulk and Brie Larson eat baby thumbnail shows them with crossed eyes and their tongues sticking out. The quartering is that's Mantis's guy right there. I feel like you and the quartering could sit around eating avocado toast and have a good conversation with each other.
Why? Because I'm half white.
Wait, do white people drawn to avocado toast?
Nowadays they are. It's very trendy.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought that's what poor people ate. So come on, man. Daredevil on She-Hulk. Did he live up to the hype? Was it everything you were expecting?
Well, obviously, my expectations are very high, so no. But I will say there was a lot of stuff I liked about him. I particularly liked that they gave him agility again.
Yes.
Because, like I'm saying, the series Daredevil didn't really like to show off his agility, and he that's one of his main things. He's an acrobat, right? But they actually definitely showed it in this episode. He's doing flips. He's jumping off building sides. I love that. And he was still a brutal vigilante. Some people are like, he's too soft. He was brutalizing his victims.
Yeah, not victims, assailants.
Right. The goons or whatever the hell he's beating up.
You went Streets of Rage on them. I watched both the fight scenes, and I thought the agility, him running up the ground, caving in on each other, was amazing. You got to remember, Daredevil does have a peak level agility. He's supposed to be at the highest threshold, and I thought the hallway scene was reminiscent, obviously, of what we got in Netflix. I'm actually looking forward to what they're going to do with that character, and that's all I needed to see from She-Hulk, right? Because I'm such a feminist. I don't even need to watch these shows to support it. I just assume that it's good.
You're right, and so here's what it is. I know, because honestly, back in episode 5, I made the stupid ass mistake. It's a really stupid mistake of thinking Doctor Doom was going to be a connector. I thought there was a Doctor Doom.
Wow, what? Didn't you learn your lesson from Mephisto? What are you doing?
I pulled a Mephisto. I was like, it's Doctor Doom behind it. And now it's been so stupid this entire time that now at this point I'm just like, I can't believe I ever thought that, because they had jumped off a cliff at the end of this last episode, downgrading it from true villainy to an internet troll. Doomcock is her villain.
Right. I'm surprised Kanye West isn't the villain of the show, to be honest with you.
I'm sure he'll be the villain of the next one.
I hope they don't do any more seasons of this.
Well, maybe not this one, but whatever the next Marvel bullshit, that they do, I'm sure Kevin Feige will like. He's gonna have a parody of a rapper who wears a White Life Matter shirt. I can
White
totally
lives
see
count.
it.
It's gonna say white lives count. 100%.
That's right. It's so pathetic. It's just this is the lowest stakes show I've ever seen. Like Miss Marvel had the higher stakes. Can you believe that? She's
I believe that.
sidekick character.
You owe Lainey $5. What do you owe Lainey $5 for?
Because I was so sure. I bet that I thought that Meteor Man. Well, hold on, Lainey. It's not revealed yet, but I bet her $5 that Meteor Man was Sauron.
So are you changing up because of the trailer for the next episode with him fighting the?
I think he's a good guy. Damn it.
So I have a theory about this, and I think I told you this in
She
private.
probably did win. Next episode, I'll probably over $5.
So I think what's going to happen is that the Meteor Man is Gandalf Proto. I think he's going to die, and then that will open up Gandalf coming in at the appropriate time. I think this is just as the first attempt coming to Middle Earth, and then he's just, he's going to lose. He's going to lose to the fem. Notice I'm not calling them feminists, but he's going to lose to the 3 empowered women traveling around burning small people's homes.
Do you think the mystery of who he is that he's not important?
I think that will be the thing that finally drives Matt to go to the Amazon studios and burn it down. It's gonna.
I will lose my mind. Yeah. Daredevil's bullwhip was really cool. It was really cool.
It was.
I loved it.
And I don't want Halbrand to be Sauron because it don't make no sense. Now, him being an Oathbreaker or one of the Nazgul, not necessarily. I don't want him to be the Witch King either. The Witch King is supposed to be mysterious because of this, right? Whoever he was gave himself over so completely to Sauron that it wasn't even that he was corrupted. Like, he has no redeeming quality about him. The Witch King is actually, if you read the books, he is the true Dark Lord of the late Second Age and Third Age.
You want to know what I think they're going to do?
What do you think?
And this is clearly me partially joking, but I would be surprised. They're going to make Queen Muriel the Witch King.
Where are you pulling that from?
Nowhere, my ass. I'm just thinking about what kind of woke shit they've been doing. So
now,
like,
what's woke about that?
Twist? They're like, no, wouldn't it be a twist if the Witch King is the woman under there?
Oh, snap.
You know
and that's why no man can kill her?
Yeah, that's what somebody some idiot from the writer's room who knows nothing about Tolkien would think was clever.
You got to rescue sci-fi from the Democrats, right? Am I right?
Oh, God.
Sci-fi and fantasy being destroyed by the Democrats.
They destroyed She-Hulk. They destroyed Tolkien. What else?
They're obviously working against Blade. Biden and Kamala Harris is sitting around just hating on Mahershala Ali because he's a devout Muslim.
Yeah, they're going to try to make Blade a Ray. They don't want a strong, positive black lead. So they're going to
strong, positive black man.
They're gonna make him the most worst. The worst. It's Velma and Shaggy all over again.
You know what you can tell if this Blade is going to go woke? If Whistler isn't white. If they find any excuse to make Whistler not white, it's too late.
I'm not sure. So you feel very vested on whether he's white or not.
I don't feel very invested, but my counter argument to race swapping a character is why. What was it? So if it's like, well, his race is not important, then why are you making him black? If it's not important, why is that important to make him black?
Well, so did you see my video on Velma?
No.
You know about this whole Velma situation?
Yeah, man, you got me in a lot of trouble. I played that shit with my kids in the room. I was like, why is he talking about Scooby-Doo? And I was like, holy shit.
Yo, they're race swapping every character except Fred.
You're okay with that, though? What are you complaining about?
Oh, no, they have gone too far. I was like,
now they've gone too far. Now they've gone too far.
Yo, they're making the Shaggy, the cowardly pot smoking guy who's always after trying to get food. They're making him black. Is that insane?
No, man, it's not important to the character, Mantis.
Here's what I'm saying. You are allowed to have a cowardly pot smoking white guy. You can't have him black.
Why not?
Okay, the implications.
It's representation, man. So you're okay with Cyclops being black when he turns into a megalomaniac exterminist?
That's why I want him to be black.
This show is off the rails, man. We gotta hire a producer.
Keep us on check. But I'm just saying that the gender and race swapping is over the top, which is why I think the Witch King could end up being a woman secretly under there, which might make sense why no man can kill her. That would really piss you off, wouldn't it?
No, I don't care enough, but I know for a fact. Here's what I do know for a fact: Halbrand is the low-hanging fruit, and if he is Sauron, it's not going to make me stop watching the show. But if he isn't, it's not going to make me stop watching the show. You know what would make me stop watching the show? If it was connected to something that ended poorly. So someone tried to call me out on this the other day. Like, you stopped watching Game of Thrones because you said it's just a prequel. I know how this all ends, but you watch Rings of Power. But I like the conclusion of Lord of the Rings. I don't like the conclusion of Game of Thrones. And no matter how good this may be, I just see the same formula, and I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Right, because you're saying no matter what happens in House of the Dragon, it will eventually lead to the crap that was season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I'll tap back in with the Jon Snow show. Are you enjoying Game of Thrones, by the way?
I am. I particularly like last night's episode.
Yeah.
It's like really good. Here's the thing. I have a lot of negatives on it. There are a lot of things pissing me off. But you're well, they keep doing time jumps and they're switching the actors out, and it's just so annoying.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be. Some people seem to not.
Yeah, you see a person doing something, and you're like, and then you hear their name, and you're like, who's that supposed to be? They don't even look like them themselves.
It's only been 3 years. What happened to this?
And I'm like, why are you jumping time? Just freaking tell the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to do this, but whatever. That's their thing. Have you been watching Interview with the Vampire?
No, I haven't watched yet. Namely because I can't find anywhere to bootleg it. But I guess I'm just gonna have
to. I'm not gonna finish that thought, but don't worry, friend. Don't worry.
I did tune in for you live stream with RM, aka Gray, and I'm gonna check it out. I did like your review. One thing you pointed out that I thought was really great, and I think more people should do this before they die. If someone's readapting your work and you approve of it, you should definitely put the stamp on it. And I do agree with you. I'm happy that Anne Rice put the stamp on it, and that just puts an end to anyone saying this is not Anne Rice's. Nope, right. Anne Rice is involved.
Right, and it's a shame we can't have Tolkien come out. So, if you could resurrect Tolkien, do you think he'd sign off on the show or not?
No, he definitely wouldn't sign off on it. His son would probably be like, take your pills. We're signing off on this. Because Tolkien didn't sign off on a lot of his own work. Do you know how much he tried to revise his own lore over and over again? Are you aware?
Right. Yes, there's inconsistencies to names, time, stories. Yes, absolutely there are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so here's why I'm okay with all these things, even if someone doesn't put their stamp on it.
Okay, I'm here.
At the end of the day, think about it this way. If the original guys who made Batman were the only ones allowed to tell stories about Batman, we would never get some of the greatest stories of Batman or the greatest stories of the X-Men or any of these guys, right? And so I think it's all right in genre work to have, if it is really a serial work, to just keep let other people have a chance. You can, because then you can pick and choose with authors or creators you like.
So I agree with you, but let me just give you the obvious opposition from the troll from the back of the room. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, these are closed canon, right? X-Men, Spider-Man, comics, that's open canon. Anyone can come in later and add to it because it's an ongoing story. This is closed, and that's why a lot of these people have issue with it. I agree with you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And I would also say, personally, from my own thing, I don't even think the show is canon. But I don't think a lot of shit is canon. I'm not even sure if I think Disney Star Wars is canon. It's fun. I'm having fun. I don't need it to be canon to have fun. You know what I mean? This is like an Elseworld story, basically.
You know what? If anyone was going to be okay with this, it was going to be Anne Rice. And if you know who Anne Rice is and where this all started and, the adaptation from the influences she was experiencing from her son, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with Louis being black and all that stuff because I know Anne Rice would be okay with it. And I don't think there's and obviously because it's New Orleans, you know, and you know anything about Creole and Cajun, all that stuff, we won't go there. But the fact that she stamped it lets me know that she was like, hey, this is something that I'm really into. Because a lot of people took issue to Tom Cruise playing Lestat. They were like, he's too old. He's not the right age. And they took issue with Brad Pitt playing Louis. These are supposed to be people like in their like 19 and 20 with clearly two 30-year-old men, right? You know?
Right.
So I'm okay with it. I've heard nothing but good things. I want to get into it. You know, I know that there's a lot of male on male stuff, but that's consistent.
Remember, it's always been that way. It's always been
that way. But one person pointed out that they seem like they said it seems like it's more prevalent. And I was like, well, it's always been that. Did you watch the first interview? Did you read the books, for God's sakes? Like, the only reason they didn't have sex is because their members didn't work. That was one thing she was really clear on in the books. They cannot have sex.
Right.
So.
Which actually, I will say this show does change that.
Oh, really?
There's no, you don't. Don't worry, you don't see motherfuckers breaking each other's backs or anything.
Yeah, because in the books, their form of infatuation, how they express that is through blood letting. Is the appropriate term?
Right. Because I'm not interested. I feel obviously there have to do some changes for the show, but I will say it is a good experience. It's a good time. Matt says, yeah, I commented on your vid, Mantis. I saw that. But I was gonna watch this show until they put out that BS trailer. Mindy Kaling is a bad writer that keeps failing up. Yes, I agree.
I want to challenge what RM said. RM 100% in the Vampire Lestat, she states that they do not have the ability to have sex anymore and they're not interested in it. And also she reiterates that in Mim Knock the Devil, when Lestat meets up with the young lady, and he's not aroused by her being a woman, he's aroused by her. What is the politically correct term I want to use right now to not get us canceled? He wasn't attracted to her physicality. He was attracted to her menstruation. I think I'm safe there.
Wow. Matt's House of the Dragon is a must-watch television show. You're missing out by not watching it. I would agree.
I think I'm
crazy too. It's about like next episode's gonna be crazy.
Are they still having sex with each other? Are the family members still having coitus with each other?
What, an interview?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, House of the Dragon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, more so than ever. It's a bang fest up there. Like if I would lived in that world, I'd be riding dragons all the time. But they're more interested in
riding each other.
Matt says incorrect, Steve. Christopher Tolkien would not have signed off on the show. Why did you think they waited until he died to get
they waited, not incorrect, conjecture. They waited till he died so they didn't have to deal with paying yet another person and hearing another viewpoint. That's how Hollywood works. Same thing with Marvel. That's why they don't want these families to get their rights to these characters.
Right, yeah. RM says C.S. Lewis canon. Read the Bible, heathens. This ain't no pagan fantasy.
Exactly.
That is so true.
I think you enjoy an interview. I think so too. Apparently, people are getting their backs blown out.
And I said that the male vamps can get it up. They just don't get anything out of it.
They can't. Trust me, RM. You got to take my word on this. I've read those books so much that it made your brother uncomfortable.
Yeah. Because I might have been one of those guys back in the day being like, it's not about gay dudes.
I'm like, no, it's the blood. The blood, it's deeper, man.
RM says they can get it up. I will find the quote. Oh, God, I love where the stream is going. They just don't want it, I feel it. I will go through the books looking for this particular information. Okay, so as I recall, I believe that they can if they just have no desire to.
No,
I think they even said they can direct blood wherever they want.
No, they never said that in the book. Not once did they say. And this
All right, get the quote. Got the quote.
This is a man that would not read these books as a kid. I believe you referred to it as drivel.
I would eventually, I would grow up.
He would eventually read it when he met a girl who was into it. He's like, "Oh, I'm way into Anne Rice."
Anne Rice is my favorite baby girl. Why don't we talk about it? Sit on down right next to
me. Tell me about these eunuch vampires.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay. Let's get back on course. To dial the show back. So we talked about everything nerdum. We talked about everything fantasy. We talked about all the good stuff. Now
you're not watching. Wait, hold on. You're not watching Andor.
I tried to put it on, and there was nothing wrong with it. He shot a guy, and my son was like, "What just happened?" And I was like, "Okay, got to turn this off."
It's very adult. It's very adult.
Very adult. It was the first episode, and he shot some dude dead in his face, begging for his life. But I heard
his life. Yes, that's what I loved about the show.
It is that moment. Let me know this is a more serious Star Wars, and I'm here for it. I enjoy it. I will get back into House of Dragon. I'll get back into all these things. My time is sacrosanct, as what's that said to the woman who's about to get devoured by the little vampire. That's how well I know these books. But it is that I have to make time. So let's get back to Kanye. Prophet, genius, visionary,
troll. I think he's a troll. Here's what it says. He's a powerful troll. Yeah. And you can just look at it. If you have a Twitter and you go on Twitter, people talk about him. He just makes sure that he's talked about. That's what keeps him profitable.
Go ahead.
I don't know if he's a genius, but he's clever at staying in the conversation, right?
100%. I found something very interesting when he was talking to Tucker. His dad sent him a text regarding the entire, the whole White Lives Matter shirt thing.
Don't turn on your camera. I only just realized that this version of the Hold Up TV logo is bleeding.
Yes.
What kind of sick ass shit is that? What's wrong with you, bro?
Well, shout out to Bex for screwing with me and putting
that was hysterical. Because I too was like, what the?
What is happening right now? Kanye's dad texted him in regard to the White Lives Matter shirt, and he was like, he told Kanye in the text, he's like, I think that's funny, and Kanye's like, I enjoyed it. What did you enjoy about it? And he was like, I think it's funny because it's a black man stating the obvious. So I want to see what you surmise from that conversation with his dad. What do you pull?
It's a black man stating the obvious. Yes. So here's what I'm saying. I understand why Black Lives Matter is called Black Lives Matter and what it matters. It's a statement that has to be stated because the world acts like it's not a thing for many, many years, right?
Okay.
But at this whole point, there has become this thing on the left where they are obsessed with race. They're obsessed with identity politics, but they're obsessed with race. If you are not fully white, they expect you to be obsessed with race. And there's always an assumption that you must be some Black Lives Matter cultist.
Hold on for a second. Okay. Queen of the Damned, the book. There is not one chapter where one vampire has sex or expresses they can't have sex. And allow me to draw you to one thing here. And this is how well I know this lore. You guys remember the interviewer that interviewed Louis and interviewed a vampire? He becomes a vampire later on, but before he becomes a vampire, he's just hanging out with the vampire Armand. This is who ends up with Armand after that whole thing. And this guy spent his time with Armand. You know what Armand did not do the entire time he was with that interviewer? Never offered to penetrate, never thought about penetrating this guy. When he became a vampire, they never had sex. There is no sex scene in that book at all.
Wait, hold on. What we were saying is they have the ability to have sex if they want. They just don't have the desire to.
Here's the humble pie. I want you guys to go read Memnock the Devil, and it addresses this directly. It literally does in the book. It addresses this directly. Now, of course, I'm open to be wrong, but since I know that I'm not, I can say it with my chest. It literally talks about vampires having sex in the Anne Rice universe. No one had sex in Queen of the Damned. Not one of the vampires did. Not
they have no desire to.
Because they can't.
No, because they don't want to. That's the difference.
They lack the ability to. Like your Sim characters that you kept putting in a room together. They cannot.
I'm telling you, they can. They just don't want to. That's what we're saying.
No. I know you guys want to think about pale penises. Oh. But
I don't want to think about any of that.
Well, you seem to be taking a strong stance.
So what you're trying to imply is that these motherfuckers signed up to be vampires so they can't get their dick hard anymore? No.
That's it.
Now.
No, it's literally right after the word, because they're preternatural, their bodies no longer perform like that. Anne Rice.
Why does nobody want?
I understand, and I think Lainey called you out on this. I know that the only reason you want there to be aliens is because you want to have sex with the aliens. I know that. Like that's all.
You have to realize that the main reason that people believe in mermaids and aliens and fairies is because you get a chance to fuck them. Of course, man. Are you kidding me?
Listen, you're not arguing with me. You're arguing with Anne Rice. Anne Rice did not want to make it about that type of sex. She wanted to elevate it to the character she was creating. Why are you guys so mad at me? Why do you want the vampires to have the ability but not to have sex so badly? And you're not arguing with me. You're arguing with Anne Rice.
I just feel like I know this. I feel like
you haven't even read the book. You don't know anything.
I didn't read the book.
I skimmed through it when I was dating that one girl.
No, I'm saying I have read it, and I have read. I didn't read as far as you, and I certainly haven't read multiple times like you. So you would know more than me. But I'm saying I'm trying to talk about what I know.
wait, hold on for a second. Here's what I know, right? Kanye West wore white lives matter to Paris, right? And when he wore that, it was the greatest troll ever. We're still talking about it. He went on Tucker Carlson, had a very articulate conversation with Tucker Carlson, and now his Twitter account has been restricted. But I don't think it's done anything to stop the machine, which is Kanye West. And this is the okie doke here. Even with his Twitter restricted, does it really matter if the message is still being talked about? Does it matter, or does it?
Oh, it doesn't matter at all, because here's the whole thing. If your point is to be rebellious, then yeah, people will still talk about you even if you're thrown out of the room. And remember, no press is bad press, right? Oh, you're looking at Lainey's thing, and you want to argue that.
I was looking at Bex's thing. What did Lainey say? I mean, I can screenshot it. What is Lainey screenshotting?
Are you screenshotting the movie or the book, Lainey?
Yeah,
you are talking about
you have to be screenshotting the book. No one accepts Queen of the Damned, the movie, even though R.I.P. Aaliyah. You guys are really into vampires penetrating each other. I didn't expect to get.
What's the point of being a vampire if you can't bone? RM says I'm so tempted to post a spoiler, but I'm not going to. Remember, RM, we're not talking about the show or the movie. Only the books.
Only
the. If there are any screenshots or evidence being posted right now, we need it to be from the books.
From the books. That's the only way I will admit that I'm wrong. But I'll tell you this much. The character that Christian Slater is portraying lived with Armand for many a moon. Do you know what Armand never did, never talked about, and could not do? Could not bend Christian Slater over like Meg Thee Stallion. He could not. Not because he couldn't. He could
whether
not.
He didn't or whether he couldn't.
He lacked the ability to do it. I'm done talking about this with you perverts. You people are sick.
So there's a paragraph where he says, I wish I could bend Christian Slater over.
Actually, the paragraph in Memnoch the Devil that talks about why Lestat could not have sex with a certain female character. They don't have the ability to.
Okay, yo, throughout this week, I want to see evidence in the Discord. Vote from both parties. If there's a paragraph, I need you to find it. I know you're not busy enough with all your
right now. I assume anytime I do one of these shows, I always know people are going to argue with me.
Yo, Matt says, I wish I could join this debate, but I've only read Anne Rice books once, so I don't remember them well. So,
when it's saying that
I only read up The Body Thief as well.
So, here's the thing. That is before he made her a vampire, and that's the sick shit. He didn't bang his mom when they were vampires. It was before. Lestat made his mother a vampire. Why are you guys trying to corrupt this woman's great work with your perverted minds? We're
trying to get to the truth right now.
And the truth is, you people
want the truth. Hold up. These lives always seem to go left. Yes, they do. Yo, a sharp left turn that goes off a cliff, right? What up, Bags?
Oh my goodness. It's 1:32. It's 1:32. Armand.
Yeah, but aren't they all? That's what I'm saying. Aren't they all?
Well, I mean, I'll leave that for you guys to define what is or what isn't in that community. I'm saying that these are people or preternatural people, as the source material says, and their only form of affection is through bloodletting.
I'm inviting everyone to post. And remember, we're only accepting evidence from books, book canon, right. Not the show,
not blogs, not fan theory. Don't send me from Reddit. It has to be in context, a direct quote that says that they could bone and they had the ability to bone.
That says vampire lives matter.
You know what's crazy? She converted to Christianity and then. No, I know what you're saying, lady. I'm saying they can't, and I'm willing to stand on that. They cannot do it. They lack the ability. Just like a frat boy after a whole case of Heffenweiser, they're useless. Another great episode. So many philosophical points.
we really got to the chase of it all, man. We really got that. So I guess there's really no way we can get an answer to the Kanye West thing.
I mean, without people getting wildly offended. So here's the thing, right? My opinion on Kanye and White Lives Matter, one of two things. He's either trolling the left or he's trolling the right. And we won't know until he says so. He's either trolling the right by pretending to be in their pocket and being a part of it. Ben Shapiro said famously, the first time the right really endeared themselves to Kanye, you live by the ye, you die by the ye. So if you prop him up as this great philosophical right.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. If anyone's doing that, they're idiots. They're like, oh, he's profound. All he is a rebel who simply asked the question, why can't we say white lives matter? Why is that so offensive? Why is that? So he just merely questioned this, and he said, you know what? Let's watch them all lose their collective minds when I put it on a shirt. And so he did it, and people fell for it. And it's crazy how people fall for it. It's like all people are talking about his antics.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think white lives matter?
I'm going to say it, and I'm going to get canceled right now. I believe all lives matter.
Kill this motherfucker! You heard it. He's a race traitor. You heard it here first.
No, I don't think there's any. I don't think there should be anything blasphemous about putting anything. Here's what it is. I'll tell you this: when someone has a Blue Lives Matter shirt, I roll them. But I don't take offense to it.
Hold on for a second. So RM has done exactly what people do with the Bible all the time. So from Queen of the Dam, I studied my reflection. My chest was like a marble torso in a museum. That white and that organ we don't need, posed as if ready for what it would never again know how to do or want to do. Okay, so let's look at that. Know how to do or want to do.
I actually think that's evidence against your point.
No,
for you, Steve. I think
exactly. Right. Thank you.
The way it points as if it is ready, but it would never again know how to do or want to do.
They can't have sex. They can't have sex, you perverts.
Oh, but he was not limp. Is her point? Let me see. I sit in a reflection. My chest was like marble torso in a museum. That white and the organ. That organ we don't need. Poised as if ready for what it would never again know how to do or want to do. Marble.
So
Puss at a gate.
know how to do. If you don't know how to do something, what can't you do?
Wait, how did he say he could get it up? I'm not sure where the part of where he's saying he can get it up. It sounds like he's saying it would never again know how to do, meaning it can't get up. Is the way I'm interpreting that. If you can live forever but can't smash, then what's the point? I agree.
Wait. I just want this to be on the public record at 1 hour and 37, 10, 11 right now. You fucks came for me. But here is one thing I knew for sure. These motherfuckers cannot have sex. They lack the ability to have sex.
Oh, I'm saying he can't. His dong cannot ejaculate.
No, that's not what that line. Read it again. Read it again.
I studied my reflection. My chest was like a marble torso in a museum. That's white. And the organ we don't need, poised as if ready for what it would never do, never again know how to do or want to do. Marble, a priapus at a gate. So
that's as plain as it gets, bro. That's as plain as it gets. I mean, that's like a level below Elizabethan, poised as if ready for what it never again know how to do or want to do. Forget about what it wants to do. It doesn't know how to do it. They cannot have sex. They cannot have sex.
RM says, read about his hard vamp dong again. Wait, what does it say? It doesn't say that he's hard. Here's what I'm saying. Are you saying that the phrase poised as if ready? Poised as if ready. Is that what you're implying is the hard? I don't know if that's saying it's hard.
You know, this has been a long time coming for me. And I just want to end the show on this note here. I just want to end the show on this note here. Because I was waiting for someone to bring up. This is not even a quote I thought RM was going to come with. I thought RM was going to come with the fact that when he drank a Sasha's blood, he regained some sense of mortality. So maybe you can make the argument when he gained that, when he drank her blood, maybe he could bone then. But Anne Rice made it very clear that it is not about intercourse with her vampires. That's not
right. But poised as if ready. Poised as if ready.
It would never again know how to do or want to do.
But poised as if ready. Ready is your flag is raised, right?
Well, what was my argument? They can't have sex.
No, but if he's hard,
they can't. Still, they can't. They cannot have sex. They can't, and that's why
you're saying they can get hard, but they can't have sex. Or you're saying they can't get hard?
No, I'm saying they cannot have sex. Not only are they not interested in it, they cannot have sex. They cannot.
If he can get hard, he could stick it to somebody.
Wrong. That, according to that, right there, poised as if ready for what it would never again know how. And if you don't know how to do something, you cannot do it. That's not what they were. That's you people have watched too much Bram Stoker's, and that's what you're thinking about. You're thinking about Gary Oldman plowing poor what's-her-face, and when he was a werewolf. You sick bastards. You sick bastards.
Yo, this stream is going nuts. I don't dispute that they don't want to, but again, women can, right? Oops.
No. My argument makes perfect sense. You're not arguing with me though. You're arguing with Anne Rice. It's reiterated in Memnock the Devil. They cannot have sex. They cannot.
Said, so would a female vamp's vag clamp up?
So RM, you're going into a hypothetical. You have to deal with the source material. Is there an example you can point to where a female vampire wanted to and had the ability to have sex with another person?
Priapus at a gate means Woody. Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm actually starting to now side with them. I know I'm a flip flopper.
You are a flip flopper. You flip flop more than the flaccid penis. You liberals just want everyone to be boning everyone. You just want everything to be the NYU campus, don't you?
I just feel.
Oh, here we go with the feelings.
My feelings is that he can get hard. Yeah, I guess I am sold. That is an erection. She's describing an erection.
Okay, so if they could have sex, they have the ability to have sex. Why don't they have sex?
Because he doesn't have the urge anymore.
Okay, but what does the verse say? We'll use the word verse. What did Anne Rice have to say about the subject?
She said no. I read it like 50 times at this point.
Read it one more time for the people in the back.
Oh, I guess I'm sorry. I studied my reflection. My chest was like a marble torso in a museum. That white. And the organ we don't need. Poised as if ready for what it would never again know how to do or want to do. Marble, a priapus at a gate.
And they never again know how to do.
But poised as if ready.
But it doesn't know how to. Why? Because they're preternatural. It no longer performs that way. They cannot have sex.
I'm saying he just has no desire to stick his dick into it.
No. If it just said you don't want to do, then you'd have an argument. Would never again. Would you just acknowledge that? Would never again know how to do. Why?
Damn! I wish we could resurrect Anne Rice, which is disgusting.
Read it again, Mantis. Read it again.
I'm in hell right now.
All right, let's go.
Studied my reflection. My chest was like a marble torso in a museum. That white. And the organ we don't need. Poised as if ready for what it would never know how to do or want to do. Marble, a priapus at a gate.
And then
this motherfucker's hard.
Yeah, but and then
what do you mean and then? It's not done.
See, that's just my point. I'm sorry that you guys, your sick minds want to think about something as wholesome as vampires screwing each other. If that's what you want, go watch Vampire Diaries.
Yo, I'm saying vampire stories are about banging.
Not this one.
Anne Rice only cared about gay sex, which is still weird. Steve was like a politician on this one. No vampire sex for male vamps. I mean, why are you trying to control their reproductive rights, Steve?
I'm not trying to control shit. I'm just holding you to the standard of the source material.
It was poised as if ready.
But it didn't know how to, which means it can't.
I'm saying, if you're flaccid, are you ready for sex?
Bruh, don't argue with me. Go dig up Anne Rice's corpse. You screaming at it, okay?
A flaccid cock is not ready for sex. That's all I'm saying.
But does a hard cock that doesn't know how to do it, can it have sex?
I think he just didn't have the urge, is what he's saying.
No, wrong. You guys, I think that you think that the world would come to an end if I'm right about something. I collectively think there's like a cabal that's working against me.
I think you're anti-sex.
See, there you go.
Absolutely, this story is all. Wait, I don't understand. What does that say?
Absolutely. This story is all Seahawks charge, sex charge, maybe not with physical, but it's there.
Oh, no, sexually charged. I think the story is all sexually charged.
100%. But I'm not disagreeing with that lady. But the argument was whether or not they can't have sex, and I was willing to let it go. But then you guys paused, tried to hold me up against the wall, and tried to say that.
This is the gayest stream we've ever done. By far. We're talking about dudes' members and shit.
It's 12 inches deep.
And you want people to hold you against the wall.
Can we get out of here, please?
Yeah, I think the secrets of both Aaron Rice's Vampires Cox and Kanye West will never be revealed. Or at least
No, they've been revealed. We solved one riddle. It's for you to figure out the Kanye thing. Whoa, real quick. Kim Kardashian showed up to a Dallas Cowboys game, I think it was, and in more the words of Ice Spice, I believe, the little mulatto rapper from the Bronx, you thought I was feeling you, but you're a munch. They booed the shit out of Kim Kardashian at a football game. Not the first time it's happened. I wonder if the public is starting to turn on her, but we'll see.
I think they are. I think they're tired of her bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
but I think her army of little pretty girls will always have her side. Like, obviously, if she went to a place that was mostly women, they'd love her.
Oh yeah.
You know, but like, I mean, I don't know.
Dallas, that's like God's country.
Yeah, we don't need this whore up in there.
We don't need this vampire.
Dallas Cowboys
with its throbbing phallus that no longer knows how to penetrate anything. Good night, everyone.
Yo, Steve, what are your streams looking like this week? Let the people know.
It's Tuesday. I'm sorry, it's Monday. So tomorrow night, hopefully we can get Dumbing Out back up, and then Wednesday, as always, is Dope Dynamics. Thursdays exclusively on Spoon, Bex, Pink Princess, Pillow Talk, and Fridays, Fufu Fridays, and Sundays, chill evenings with DJ Senti Star. Conversations is coming back. I'm just having some booking issues. I don't want to get into it.
We can't wait, man, my man. And guys, I'm gonna be back on the Brunch with the Fat Mantis 11:30-ish, starting tomorrow throughout the week. I'm Tuesday through Friday on that one. It's all going to be Halloween themed. I'm going to keep in the spirit alive. Wednesday, we've got Rogue Planet, 8 p.m. Eastern. Nerd news and other information. We're going to be talking about fandom as usual. Other than that, I love you all. Keep it real. Stay tuned. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, ciao for now.